be yours. Ready? I'd like to call this Whitfield County Board of Commissioners meeting to order for January 8th, 2024. Please silent or mute your cell phones. And all who are able, please stand for our invocation and our pledge. Commissioner Robbins.
Let us pray. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we come to thank you and recognize you for who you are. Thank you for this new season, dear Heavenly Father, a new beginning and a new year. We pray that we deliberate carefully. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for serving Whitfield County and the opportunities you've given us. Now, dear Heavenly Father, bless everything we try to do tonight and go with us and guide us. Forgive us where we fail you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May the record reflect we have all 5 commissioners present and our quorum is met. The commissioners and the public were made aware of our agenda about 6 days ago with the New Year's holiday. There are 4 additional items, because 30 is never enough, I don't think. So we've got a parking deck quote, our retirement pension payment plan, a tax assessor software, and a discussion of our March meeting dates. Is there any other additions or changes to the agenda besides those 4?
Motion to accept.
Motion
with the additions.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins to accept the agenda with the 4 additions. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. There's just our regular consent agenda items related to any purchasing or budget amendments we made last month. The minutes were also sent out last week. There was 2 sets of minutes, one for a special budget meeting in December, and then our regular December Board of Commissioners meetings. Everybody have a chance to review the minutes. Were there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Motion to accept the minutes. Motion by Commissioner Robbins. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. All right, we'll start with our November Employee of the Month, Stephen Vasquez, I believe with the Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff, Stephen, will come forward.
Stephen Vasquez.
Great to meet you. Tell us about your deputy here.
Deputy Vasquez has been with us just for a little bit over a year, but he had experience. He came out of Knox County, Tennessee, worked up there about 4.5 years or so. But back last year, Thanksgiving, the city police had a call for a murder that had occurred. So a BOLO, be on the lookout, was given out, and of course we pick up the city traffic and all. So the lookout was given out and everything in a description of a vehicle. Later, a description or a name of a female surfaced on the radio and everything. So Deputy Vasquez, putting 2 and 2 together, connected that we had had a disturbance call earlier in the evening at an address with that name. So he started circling in the area. He spotted the vehicle. About 30 minutes later, followed it, waited till a backup unit came, and they stopped the suspect's vehicle around the Circle K at Walden Avenue and Airport Road. Took the suspect, or called the city police. The suspect was there, I think had injuries himself. And also, from the time that the incident occurred to the time of the stopping of the vehicle was about 30 minutes.
Custody.
So very much on his toes. He's part of our SRT team. But he does anything that we ask. His supervisor, Lieutenant Chris Callahan's here with us, and he'll tell you one of the best officers we've got. So once again, we're very proud of him. Excellent job.
Congratulations. Glad to have you, Georgia, in the real South down here. Thank you. Good to see you.
You did good. Made him dress up, too.
All right, we have one public hearing tonight for the Quickway on Cleveland Highway. This is for a alcohol beverage license, and I believe the background check and all paperwork has been completed successfully. Would anyone like to speak in favor of this license, or if the owner's here of the establishment, you're welcome to come forward as well. Anyone like to speak in opposition to the alcohol beverage license? Going once, twice. All right, I'll close this public hearing, and we'll vote on it in just a moment. So this is a part where each commissioner has a chance to speak what's on their mind, what's a report from each of their committees that they're on. I think it's a good time, personally, just to look back at 2024 and starting with our strategic objectives. We set these about 3 years ago. If it wouldn't be strategic if we changed it every year, but I thought there might be one item, don't have to have an answer tonight, but I was just going to propose kind of updating that first one where we've made a lot of progress with our meetings. We stream, we've got new audio, video presentations, and appreciate our IT folks and all the investments in this room to make it sound clear for everyone. But, you know, if we kind of expand that a little bit more, not just about the meeting, but about citizens' engagement and really trying to build that community pride, I think there's different projects that will come up over the next year or two where we can really kind of tackle that. So that's just a proposal. You guys can think about it and let me know. But the rest of the objectives, at least to me, looked good as far as trying to continually to improve and modernize our government, to find good paying jobs, not just more jobs, but actually better paying jobs for our citizens, and keep reducing our property taxes, like the senior exemption that passed last year, and improve our city-county teamwork. There's several items on the agenda tonight related to the progress we've made on that, both in the past and for 2024. So those are our strategic objectives. So any comments from the commissioners on those, keeping them the same or modifying the first one? Said you guys can let me know, but I think it's good to keep those in mind. And if you'll notice on every agenda item, we put which one of these 5 items that agenda item applies to. Now, some are just keeping the lights on, you know, paying the bills and those type of things, so we'll note that. But if it's strategic, we note which of these 5 that agenda item is related to. The other thing that I like to do is look back on 2023 and all that we've accomplished, and I definitely mean we, because that's the citizens, that's our staff at the county employees, and of course the commissioners here. We all have to do it together or nothing gets done. So we were able to reduce the millage rate for the 4th year in a row. One of the things I'm super proud of, and it's a big teamwork effort, is the grants, which is an all-time high. I do know that's an all-time high, $7.3 million in grants just in 1 year. So that's fantastic. That number was probably less than $1 million 3 or 4 years ago. So we've really made a lot of progress in those grants, and that's money we don't have to take from our local taxpayers, so that's great. Don't forget, we had a 5-year approval of our joint comprehensive plan. That was approved by the state, but it was led by the citizens to make changes and to improve and modernize that agreement. So that was completed back in the fall. And we exceeded our 29-mile goal. I don't know if that's an all-time record, but certainly the last few years, I don't think we've paved or resurfaced anywhere near 29 miles. So we continue to push that, and maybe we'll do more than 30 next year. But we also restriped, in addition to those miles, 45 miles of county roads. So that's the striping, you know, for safety and making sure you know where the lanes end and the edge of the road is and that type of thing. And of course, our jobs, QCell started in 2022, but they finished their expansion. They've done their hiring. And Essentia Proteins is in the dry. I suspect they'll be starting to hire pretty soon, but their building is in the dry. So we've got 2 big expansion projects, either finished or nearly finished, in our park. And of course, we started on the south side field with the FIFA soccer field out there. It's not quite finished, but making good progress on that.
West side, not south side.
Well, I'm sorry, the west side. Yeah, Barry's already got his Riverbend Park. The Miracle Field on the west side, what I meant to say. So I think that's a really strong year. I appreciate everybody's support, and let's make 24 even better. Mr. Jones, anything to report?
Yeah, I got a call or an email from a citizen about what time the cutoff is for fireworks. And from what she said, the sheriff said it was 1 a.m. and they're going off at 2 a.m. And anyway, she was wanting us to look into that and see if there's anything we can do to So maybe they can enforce that a little better, which is hard to catch them.
Right, especially if they're all around the county.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Robert and our county administrator were looking at what the ordinance says today, and if we need to tweak it or improve it, I'm totally open to that, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, she wanted to make sure
Pass
I
that along. Yeah, I
mentioned
don't-
it to y'all tonight, so.
Okay, I don't know if she's here tonight, but public comments, if you're here, you're welcome to give us some more information on that, that'd be fine.
Okay. That's it.
Commissioner Thomas, anything for you?
No.
Commissioner State?
No, sir. Just thankful to be back and at it.
We're glad to have you here. Commissioner Robbins?
No report.
And County Administrator, you didn't have a report, anything that came up at your last minute, you can't wait to share with us?
Well, I just saw Carol Roberts walk out of the room. I know we got some good news on the grant funding for the senior center for the meals, so.
Oh, great.
And I know that was part of your accomplishments for 2023, but just for everybody at home, in case they didn't know, the county took over ownership and management of the senior center January 1st of last year, 2023, and we've expanded services and reduced expenses, and I know you may think that that's mathematically impossible, but the way we've done it is we've had the federal government pay for the meals and a lot of the other activities. So we got an email just today that our request has been approved. So
Great.
the good news continues.
My wife thanks you.
That's right. The dance.
If there was a board for the senior center, we definitely have Commissioner Robbins on there, since he's our taste tester there. Ms. Godfrey, you want to come forward with our financial report?
Well, we're not exactly finished with the year yet.
Close.
We're close, but these are for November. Our year-to-date lost numbers were 14.1 million. Vehicle tax, or TAVT, is 4.95 million. Our year-to-date revenue is 42 million, and our year-to-date expenses were 49, almost 50 million. With the revenue, again, through November, year-to-date was 42 million. We had projected revenue through November to be 37.3 million, compared to last year's actual, which was 32.7 million. Our total expenditures year-to-date, which is through November, were 49.9 million, and projected expenditures were 49.2. Again, compared to last year at the same time, which was 45.5 million. Year-to-date versus budget was, year-to-date revenue is 4.6 million greater than budgeted, and our year-to-date expenditures are only 668,000 over budget. This gives us a surplus of 3.96 million, but you will see next month there will be the health care amendment, and also we'll have the retirement
If we
budget
approve that
amendment.
tonight, yeah.
Yes,
Got it.
if you approve that. So our actual fund balance as of November was 24.9 million, and based on what we expect to receive, our projected fund balance will be 35.9 million. But again, we talked about those two items that are gonna come out, if approved, that will bite into that a little bit.
Still a record, so that's okay.
Still a record. And for our SPLOST 2020, our actual receipts through November 30th for the whole SPLOST is 71.2 million, and our projected expenditures through November are 44.2 million. Of course, the debt service is paid for 23, and we'll just have to take up 24.
Any questions on the finance report?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Jones to approve the finances as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. All right, we do have a lot of agenda items now, so if anyone would like to come forward, this is your chance to talk about or give us your opinion or thoughts on any of those 30-plus agenda items. We will have another public comments that you can talk about other things, but feel free to come forward and just tell us your name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Beverly Grimmy. I live at 514 Ridge Point Lane, Caheta, Georgia, 30710. I am here to speak on item 28 with the chicken houses. This is coming up because there is a company that wants to build chicken houses within 1 mile of a sports complex, an elementary school, a city park, and a middle school, within 2 miles of a high school. This is bad for lungs, this is bad for children, this is bad for groundwater. Not to mention the smell in the homes of the residential areas that are surrounding it. I just hope that you guys vote in the direction that would stop that from happening.
Limited.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Public comment on any of the agenda items?
I think Commissioner Thomas had a follow-up.
Oh,
I keep hearing about
or question for Robert?
these chicken houses. Do you know who's building them?
It's my understanding that it's a company that's from out of the United States.
We don't have any,
But-
nobody's approached us on any kind of permits or anything.
So far, yeah.
So item 28 is to stop that from happening.
Is to require a permit from the Varnell City Council, if you're in the city limits of Varnell. Only the city limits of Varnell, but yes.
Within the city limits of Varnell.
And Gene, are you aware of any proposed poultry houses or swine houses at this point? In the city of Varnell? Correct.
So, a little bit of a rumor, so to speak. Any other public comments?
Regardless of the rumor, this is something that would need to be addressed in the future for our city because we can't have that type of establishment go into our area.
That would be an issue
It's
for
a
the
possibility,
council.
for sure. It's a possibility.
It would be something, even if that's a rumor, it would be something that
right?
needs to be halted
Council?
for that area. It's
City
not
council.
healthy for the children in that live
Not
in that
us.
area, for the school, for the sports complex.
And that would be an issue that would need to be addressed by the Varnell City Council, not the commissioners.
Right.
And they have that authority now, don't they?
Yes, sir.
And they, yeah,
They can stop a poultry operation
or swine.
or a swine operation the way things are today. Is
No.
that correct?
They've passed the text amendment that's on your agenda tonight.
Only because of that text amendment. Because it's already GA, so there's no reason for it to go to rezoning. That's the issue.
I mean, as I understand it, the city of Varnell has already passed
But
it.
they did pass that, right?
So that would be an issue that you would address with all your council members in Varnell.
I have. It is, and I don't have my notes with me, I should have brought them. It is my understanding that they needed something passed here, which was item 28, in order to have that go official.
We're basically putting it into this unified zoning plan.
It's making it so that each individual city has the ability to stop that and regulate, correct? They would have to ask for extra permissions from the individual city.
That's right.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
Any other
correct.
questions?
Only in the cities.
Correct.
Not the unincorporated part of Whitfield County.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, you're right. Any other public comments about that agenda item or others? All right, we'll move on. Our first one, we've got quite a few nominations that we have to do each year, so we do that in January. The first one is for the vice chairman, which is currently held by Commissioner Robbins of the commissioners. So open the floor for nominations to start with.
I'll nominate Mr. Robbins.
Nomination of Mr. Robbins to continue.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Are there any other nominations? Anyone just can't wait to do it?
Nominate.
No, I don't.
Barry's done a great job.
I was looking forward to running against you.
All right, I will close the nominations and we'll vote. There's only one person, but all in favor of Commissioner Robbins continuing as the vice chairman. Raise your hand or say aye. Passes on a 4-0 vote. He voted for himself. Make a note of that.
And the chairman wouldn't vote for me.
No, I wouldn't dream of that. So we have different committees and boards that we're all a member of, different ones. We kind of divide and conquer that. You can see those listed there, 3 for Mr. Jones, 4 for myself, a big one for Mr. Staten there with the Trade Center, and Mr. Robbins on the library and the honorary senior center representative. And then Mr. Thomas, you got 3 also.
I make a motion, we accept all of them as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins, second by Commissioner Thomas. So just making sure nobody has any concerns with making your meetings or working with those groups. Yeah, I was trying to sneak it in there, but I'm good with mine. Hopefully y'all are good with yours. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Then we've got some citizens to appoint, one a joint Dalton and county, and then one our county-only representatives to the Joint Development Authority, also known as the JDA. You can see David Renz and Frank Robertson. Is there a motion to approve these 2 gentlemen on the JDA?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion?
Which one is the city and which one is the county?
Frank's the joint appointment.
Yeah, Frank's joint. Robertson.
And David is
County.
county. Thanks.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. All right, this is our alcohol beverage permit from a few minutes ago, the Quickway on Cleveland Highway. Any concerns that the commissioners have? I didn't hear any from the public and didn't get any emails prior. Is there a motion to approve the alcohol beverage license?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Jones. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robbins. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We recently received a call from a donor that would like to kind of start a new holiday tradition, where a sustainable one, and they've offered to donate a 25-foot live Douglas fir and pay for the installation and all the ornaments. You saw the courthouse was very well decorated inside, but we didn't have much going on the outside. And so this would give us kind of a little community, we talk about community pride and engagement, to have a little lighting ceremony and have that up through the month of December next year, assuming we get the tree installed. This is a good time of year to install it, I'm told, from Fiddlehead. I think they would be the people that would help us install that and keep it alive for the whole year so we could use it year in and year out. They would also pay for the decorations for it. So a motion to accept the donation for somewhere on our courthouse lawn. Motion by Commissioner Robbins, second by Commissioner Staten. I did say I ran this by our buildings and ground person first, and so they're on board with it, just so you guys know. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. The Solid Waste Authority recently voted in December to do a dividend surplus distribution to both the City of Dalton and Whitfield County in the amount of $2.5 million each. So we just need to do a motion to accept that transfer.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Jones. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Thomas. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We set the qualifying fees in election years. So this is a general primary coming up in May with the qualifying beginning on March 4th at 9 a.m. here at the courthouse. These are all of the county positions that we set the fee for. The chairman there, that seems excessive. If y'all want to reduce that, I would appreciate that. That seems large.
You gotta go to about
Base-
1,000.
Oh, you're going to increase it. Never mind. Forget what I said. Any concerns with this, or is there a motion to approve these qualifying fees?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Jones to approve. Is there a second by Commissioner Staten? Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Our SPLOST, I'm told that the City of Dalton, which is also required to pass the intergovernment agreement. There's actually 2 pieces to this. There's IGA, the intergovernment agreement that sets the percentage that each entity will receive of the SPOS if it's passed, and so we have to do that, as well as a ballot resolution that we send down to the State House so it can appear on the May ballot, the same as those other offices that we just passed the qualifying fees for. So the city has passed it. We have an agreement on that SPOS agreement, and we just need to have a motion to approve both the IGA and the ballot resolution for the potential upcoming 2024 SPOS.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We talked about grants. We talked about last year. We talked about one we've already won for 2024. This is another one. I believe our county administrator might have mentioned this one and one more last month when we met. But we need approval for this, to apply for this Connecting Humanitarian Grant, which is related to high-speed broadband and improving that for our citizens. This won't solve it, but it's better than nothing, and we continue to chip away and try and get to the pockets of the county that don't have the high-speed internet. We do have to do a match, but it's just in kind, so we will not have any out-of-pocket dollars on that. Motion to approve the Connect Humanity Grant as presented.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. The RAISE grant, this is a federal grant related to some sidewalks and pedestrian safeties around our schools. So we're partnering with our Whitfield County schools. Some we partner with the city, some we partner with the schools. So it's good teamwork, like I mentioned earlier, on the grants. But we'd like to try, we've tried some of these on bridges, not so successful, so we're trying some different approach with these sidewalks and pedestrian safeties where we don't have a lot of sidewalks in the county, obviously. Is there a motion to approve applying for the RAISE grant? Motion by Commissioner Thomas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? What's that? Go ahead.
So it's, the application can be applied throughout Whitfield County, including municipalities?
I believe this is focused on around the county schools.
Schools
I don't
only?
think it would necessarily be in Dalton City.
Okay.
But some of the schools are in municipalities like Tunnel Hill and Barnell. Yeah, so it's possible. Yeah.
So mostly schools? Okay.
Mostly schools, yeah.
Good.
I think we have a second, so any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We awarded back in 2022 several nonprofit grants out of our ARPA money, where the nonprofits really struggled to have fundraisers to keep their doors open with COVID and that type of thing. And we've got one that hasn't completed the project as they submitted it to us back in 2020. They had to the end of 23. They'd like a 3-month extension with the Boy Scouts of America. They had a hard time basically hiring that person, but they've since made some progress, but just needed a little bit more time. Motion to extend the Boy Scouts of America grant that we gave them in this case. Motion by Commissioner Robbins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Thomas. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Our transit department, we have to, both our Georgia Department of Transportation and the federal require that we come up with a safety plan. Of course, we're driving everyone from seniors to kids around Whitfield County to hospitals and grocery stores and the like, so we want to be safe, and we just need to approve the safety plan so we maintain our compliance for operating the transit system. Motion to approve the Whitfield County Transit Safety Plan.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. All right, let's see. I know there was a few people that posted, they didn't know why we were building trails, but I need to remind them that this came from a grant also. So this is no local taxpayer money. I don't think it's taxpayer money. I think it's a private grant anyway. But we received a grant for $150,000, so we received it. We have to build the trails. That's what they were for. So nobody's paying for this out of local money. But a lot of people do like walking and going through the 1,000 acres that we have at our Rocky Face Ridge Park. So this helps them navigate that a little easier with the new trails. Thankfully, the bids came in less than the grant, so that's good news as well. So is there a motion to approve Barry Smith Trails for $120,000 using the grant money? Motion by Commissioner Jones. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Got another one from the rec department. This is related to the fence padding at our newer Riverbend Park. This is a safety when people are going out for fly balls and lose track of how close they are to the wall. I think we've had a little minor injuries out there in the past, so this will help alleviate those. We had 4 bidders, but unfortunately 2 did not follow our rules. And even though they were given a chance to correct it, either withdrew or decided not to correct it. So 2 got disqualified, and the lowest bidder now is Cover Master at $52,022.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins to accept the bid. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Thomas. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Last year, we sent one of our engines from our fire department to be repaired and rebuilt. I think this is one of those pre-def engines, so it's probably something we want to keep around as long as possible. But they found some additional problems once they tore it down. So we just need to update the amount for the repair and accrue that into our 2023 budget for $34,081. I believe we have the vehicle back now already. But this will be our spare, so that keeps us from having to invest in a new piece of equipment. So,
Did the chief answer you?
do we already have the engine back?
It's actually got one more repair that they had found with the exhaust system.
Oh, really? Okay.
But it is running, our mechanic went down and checked, it is running very strong.
Okay, good.
That changed the price then?
Do we need to adjust the price again, or?
No, it
It-
would
it-
just be a 24 item.
Okay,
It's just something off to the side that they found.
okay. Y'all good with that investment? Of course, it's already been spent, so I don't know that we can get out of it.
Yes.
We got our truck.
But I think it's a good investment.
Yeah, I do too.
$400,000 truck for $34,000, and hopefully it'll last 5 or 10 years or longer. I don't know.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Now, we've got a whole lot of rezoning, so I tried to break them up into sections in 3 each, because I think there's 12, plus the other text amendments on top of those 12. If you guys want to do it differently, we certainly can, but I just thought we'd start with 3 at a time. If you see any that are controversial on here, we can discuss it separately. These first 3 were all approved by the Planning and Zoning. 1 was noted with some additional buffer conditions on number C there. Do you guys have any concerns or issues with these? Taking these 3, just take these 3 as
ABC,
as a slate.
I make a motion to approve.
Yep.
Motion by Commissioner Jones to approve all 3 of these as the planning conditions with the buffer conditions on the 1.
Yep.
Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. All right, the next slate of 3, kind of the same situation. They were all approved. I don't recall too many public comments or any opposition, except, again, 1 condition on the last one there with the a rezone of that one to our GA. Motion to approve all 3 of these. Motion by Commissioner Jones. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. This gets a little trickier. The first 2 had conditions. They were approved, but the last one was voted to deny. And let's see, this one was related to the general commercial. I think they wanted to put a car lot or something there. I believe that was the one. So that would be a denial if we want
Make
to.
a motion, we take the recommendation of the planning commission.
Okay. Commissioner Jones makes a motion to take the first two approved with the condition and deny the third one per the zoning board's vote. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. This one, let's see. Oh, yes, this one did get quite a bit of public comment, and it was also denied due to the noise, I believe. They want to use it as a special use permit and have an event center. They've been doing a trial basis with close family members, and there's already been several complaints, I believe. And they voted to deny that one. Do you guys agree with that?
I'll make a motion to accept their recommendation.
Motion by Commissioner Jones to accept the denial of the special use permit. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Thomas. Any further discussion? You look like you want to say something, John.
I'd like to check into this other entrance from the subdivision at some point. It's my understanding that it was opened and it really shouldn't have been
okay.
open, but I don't know if that.
Something to investigate.
So I'd like for us to look into that, Rob. McCully subdivision, Green Acres.
Green Acres, yep. Any further questions or comments on this? We have a motion to, and a second to deny the special use permit. All in favor of denying it, raise your hand or say aye. It is denied 4-0. This is our first text amendment to update the poultry and swine. It was accepted by the planning. It's already been voted on by Varnell. Has not been voted on by Dalton, is that correct? They want to wait and do it after we do next week or in the next 2 weeks or so?
Whenever their next meeting is.
Yeah.
That's what I was told, but I'm not sure when that is.
Okay. So that's all I know about Dalton. Again, we're not voting. I think we had a small discussion at the beginning. Commissioner Jones brought it up to me a couple of weeks ago. We can't tell Varnell what to do or not to do, but, so they've already got this in place, but we are accepting it, so they will stay part of our zoning ordinance only. Wouldn't affect any residents in the unincorporated county or any requirement for the commissioners whatsoever to approve anything, other than just put this in the ordinance for Varnell at their request.
I make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins to accept the Varnell special use permit.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I wanted to thank Jake Bearden for that information you sent me about, I think there was just like 18 general agriculture parcels.
Oh, in Varnell?
In the city limits of Varnell, which surprised me a little bit. And we also need to look, I think, it's general agriculture is a minimum of 5 acres. Is that correct?
That's why they're so little.
If that information was correct you sent me, there's even less than the 18. So I guess we need to
Grandfathered in, maybe?
look at those, if they actually qualify for general ag, or would they be grandfathered in, Gene?
Yeah. That's where the 5 acres comes in, right?
And for clarification, you said there were some that were less than 5 acres? Is that what I understood you to say? I'm sorry.
There are.
If that information was correct.
parcels.
Yeah, just
Not all of
18
them
parcels.
Not all of them are 5 acres.
Thanks.
Makes sense.
I'm in the chicken business, and, you know, inner city is not a place for a poultry operation.
Anyway,
But it's not a place for a swine operation either, or a cattle feedlot with a lot of cows, and they bring everything they eat into them. That can be just as bad as the swine, so,
I need to look into that.
yeah. So anyway, like I said, it's not the right, inner city's not the right place for a poultry
Yeah,
operation.
it's common sense, I think. I agree with that.
So if we approve this, Robert, would the cities then have to come back and take up that question about a cattle feeding operation? Or what we're granting them the permission for tonight, would it cover that also as well?
Well, no, so we're not granting them permission to do anything. We're saying that we would keep the ordinance the same. They've granted themselves the permission to require a special use permit on these types of facilities. But to Commissioner Jones' point, I don't think anybody's discussed, a cattle operation, and it sounds like that ought to be considered too, so that would be something we have to
Separate.
bring back.
Yeah, that's my question.
I think that should be
So we'll
separate.
have to go
Yeah,
through
and I'm
this.
not talking about just a pasture with some cows in it. I'm talking about the
Commercial.
combined.
Yeah, CAFO, yeah, combined.
But we can do that. We have these
See what they do,
occasionally, so we
if
can
they
do
can do
that.
it anyway,
Look at that in the
you
future.
know?
Okay.
Any further questions or discussion? Or Robert or anybody else? Okay, we have a motion and a second, again, just to include the text into the zoning, that's all we're doing. Is there, all in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed? Passes on a 3-1 vote. This is for a new type of, basically a mini PUD is the way I like to think of it, a U-PUD. It requires less land and has some other restrictions, allows to free up some additional urban areas. It's mainly the city of Dalton and Tunnel Hill, but if you technically are an urban area, like a subdivision, it could potentially be a little bit outside the city limits of Dalton, but when you look at the map, it's primarily inside the bypass, and then, of course, Tunnel Hill area as well. So there is no change to any current property. It just means that developers can apply for this, and we post it, and then we vote on it. And I think there is one that is interested in the city of Dalton, but this is only for basically the cities, primarily Tunnel Hill and Dalton. The text was in there. I read through it. It's got a lot of restrictions, so you can have some retail, some commercial with this small subdivision, but there's a lot of restrictions on things you wouldn't want to include in there, which is good.
Motion
Site
to
plan's
approve.
required, so you would have to.
And you could
review
still,
the site plan.
you still review it. Yeah, they have to tell you in advance what they're going to do, for sure. Did somebody think a motion by Commissioner Staton to approve the UPUD? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Thomas. Any other discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. These are the additional agenda items we added. We approved the lease last month, if you recall, on the county office building located in downtown. And as part of that, our county engineer has been working to improve and stabilize the parking garage, but we have to pay a portion of that as well as the other tenant and the landlord, but our portion of the first down payment is $103,880. So hopefully we won't have to tear it down. I know we lost a parking deck in the city a year or two ago that had to be torn down, so we're trying to make sure that we don't have the same situation with this one. Motion to approve the down payment for our landlord. Probably not a lot of excitement.
Not at all. Not at
I
all.
don't think Kent can make a motion. I can't ask him to make the motion. But I'll wait.
No.
Reluctantly, I'll motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton to tear the $103,000 out of our tight hands.
It hurts.
It does, it definitely does hurt.
Just to bring it
We-
up,
Is there a second?
for further discussion, I'll make the second.
Second by Commissioner Robbins,
Not enthusiastically.
unenthusiastic second. Further discussion? Or I think our county administrator is very well versed on this, as well as our attorney. It is required in our lease agreement, so we're kind of pregnant, as they say already.
Kind of a triple net lease, isn't it?
Triple net is beyond triple net. I think
Well,
it's,
this
is
triple-
there quadruple net? Yeah, you're paying
Triple.
for capital improvements as well as the others. Other discussion?
Mr. Administrator, is there another option, or?
Not unless you want to set up some desks on the street, so,
Or park
your park.
at your own, at my house.
Maybe we could use Bird Park.
Park in the grass, I go over well.
Okay,
Is there a call to question?
call for the question.
All in favor of the down payment for the parking deck? Raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay? Passes on a very enthusiastic 4-0 vote. this is even more money, but it's not, maybe not quite so tough. It's our pension plan. We are well-funded. I don't know what this will put us. I'd be speculating, but I think we're going to be really strong, 99%, if I had to guess, when we get the final report. But we do have to make an annual payment to our pension plan, and this will be paid out of the 2023 surplus. That was part of the assumptions we did with our 2024 budget. And of course, we want to stay as close to 100%, I believe, as possible, as good, sound pension plan management.
Do we know what percentage we're at or where it puts us?
They don't give it to us till after January.
94?
But that was also before the market gains in 23. That's not factored in yet either, I don't think, because it was a good year in the market, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but there's still other things, we carry losses, they amortize the losses.
Okay.
And so we still have, all the amortizations are still in place, but he gave the impression that it would definitely jump it up. I doubt it will jump it up to 99.
Okay.
But it's 94 as of today?
No,
No.
That's at the end of 22.
Like January of last year, basically.
Yeah, that doesn't count the
23 it was at 90.
the gains this year, and it will be north of 94. I think we can.
Well north, yeah.
I make
But
a
this is the
motion-
recommendation from the experts. We're
I make
paying
a
the full amount.
motion, we
Take that out of the surplus?
Yes.
Motion by Commissioner Jones to make the full payment, 2.35 million,
Way to do it.
out of our surplus. Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. The other additional item, I got two more. This is the tax assessor's software called EagleView. It is pretty well used throughout the state, not just by tax assessors, but by E911 services, by GIS services. So has a lot of good use, but will help them be able to have a aerial view of properties and make measurements, and also even compare when properties have changed, so they'll know even if somebody sneaks in a renovation, we will be able to assess theirs. It is $46,453 for 6 years, which I had a little concern with, but we got with the vendor today, and they did confirm, and I read through the agreement a second time, and we can cancel after year 3. If either it's not of use or we're not getting the value, we can get out of it. That's when they do another flyover of our county. So if we cancel before that, then we wouldn't know anything additional.
Mr. Chairman, I would also add that this is not just useful for taxation purposes, but for first responders, because it'll give them data, whether it's a fire or a hostage situation, whatever, they would have the lay of the building.
Right. Yeah, he mentioned that to me. He looking forward to getting onto it if we approve the whole county. So just for this year, $46,453 is the only amount that's due, but it is a multi-year contract. Is there a motion to approve the EagleView software? Motion by Commissioner Robbins, second by Commissioner Thomas. Any
No,
further
that-
discussion?
That wasn't
Oh,
right.
Commissioner Staton, sorry. second by Commissioner
A little bit more
Thomas.
hair than he does.
It's great, too.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. The last one, wanted to give plenty of notice, not our February, but our March meeting is normally scheduled for the 11th. I'd like to propose moving that to the 4th, if that's okay with all the commissioners and staff. Just move it up a week so we can make sure we have a quorum and everybody's here. Any concerns with moving it up a week? All right, is there a motion to change our March meeting to March 4th at 6 p.m. at the courthouse like usual, just a week early?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Jones, is there a second? Second by Commissioner Staton. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. All right, we have public comments now for any item that's on your mind or anything you want to share with the commissioners. Doesn't have to be on the agenda. If you took the over, you're going to lose. Going once, going twice. Yes, the end of public comments. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Commissioner Jones.
It was pretty impressive. It is dry, that Golly, how in the world?
Took him 3 years.
Yeah.